Alright, here we're going to take a look at Dominique's January 3rd, 2015 eval. This is her running full speed, followed by half speed. And then ultimately we're going to see her here at 10% speed, and we're going to go frame by frame and take a look at what we see here. She's obviously a lot more put together than Andre in a sense of form and technique, and you can tell she's had some instruction. But there's some things that we're going to take a look at here. Her hands, she's got them just entirely too stiff. When you run, you want your upper body to be totally relaxed as much as possible. When you see the fast guys run, they're so relaxed that their cheeks are like flapping in the wind. So she's got a lot of tension in her wrist, and that kind of translates down into the arms, and that can get things out of place. So we want her to relax her hands and also her wrists. And then I think by doing that, it will help her keep her elbows more connected to her body. You can see how they're kind of separated there a little bit, and that causes her to slightly go across her chest sometimes as you see her kind of going side to side there. Moving forward a little bit more, she's standing straight up when she takes off, so she's leaning way too much. If she was coming out of blocks off of like if she was at a track meet, I could see that, but with her standing straight up, she's leaning over too much, and what that causes is it causes her to drive her knees down to the ground, which slows her down. So we want to get her to drive out and then try to stand up a little bit to allow those knees to come up. And then as you can see, the red line designates that she's a little bit offline and should be splitting her two eyes, and it's kind of to the left of her head there. So definitely want to get her to get a little bit more of an upright posture when she's running, and let those long legs really do the work, and that they're not really able to do right now. Moving forward a little bit more, she actually has a good contact point, a strike point on the ball of her foot, so that's good. If you look down at her upper leg, it's all straight. The knee is pointing right where it should be pointing. The leg is going straight down where it should be. We're getting a slight bit of turn on those feet, and so we like to straighten those up a little bit. But that's not a huge thing, but we would like to just kind of correct that a few degrees, make it just a little bit more straight. So get her to quiet her upper body down, get those arms in a better position, and get her to get a better lean angle there, and I think she'll be a lot quicker just from those changes. Her vertical leap was 21 inches, which I told you was pretty good for a girl her age. We'd like to see that still increase by 2 or 3 inches on the next vertical that we do. And looking at her standing broad jump and her vertical, these two are kind of telltale signs of her quickness improving, because if you've got someone who can jump high and jump far, usually you have someone who's very quick and explosive. So we want these numbers to be just really as good as they can be, and we put a lot of emphasis on creating that initial burst and initial drive of power. So there she did well, 6 foot broad jump there. Moving forward now, we're going to take a look at her lateral movement, and this is one of the areas that I really felt she could have done so much better on. She only scored 11. I mean, she really should be at like 15 or 16 reps, so she's about 20 yards off speed-wise of where we should be in that 5-yard drill there. So that's something we want to definitely take a look at. Her performance stats, her strength was good, her balance is really good. We definitely want to work on her core strength, and again, that vertical and that standing broad jump, and then try to get those 10 and 20 yard times really as low as we possibly can get them. So if we can get that 10 yard down into the 1.7s, that would be really good, and then continue to lower that 40 time until we're at the low 5s. That's kind of like what we'll use as a baseline going forward. Also, flexibility for her is going to be key as we continue to strengthen her. We want to make sure she still stays flexible and loose, and that will help her prevent her from getting injuries and kind of having setbacks that can be detrimental to progress.